Hello! Today we are going to be talking about books that feature our favorite creepy creatures of the night. I'm talking witches, vampires, zombies, you name it. This is actually a very spontaneous recommendations video. It just came to me and I just sat down and I'm just like, you know what? I want to recommend creepy books right now. But like divide them into categories by the creature. I'm going to be starting off with my personal favorite. It is no secret what that is. It is witches. And since I'm going to be talking about witches, I of course need my handy dandy witch's cat. Rude. Sabrina. Named after Sabrina, the teenage witch, in case you didn't know. Hey, don't bite me. You're supposed to follow my orders like a good familiar would. I actually did a witches recommendations video a while back in case you're interested in that and you want to see more witch recommendations because that has many. The first one is called Once a Witch and it's by Carolyn McCullough. So essentially this book follows a girl named Tamsin who comes from a long line of witches. However, Tamsin, for whatever reason, does not have any powers. She has waited up until her late teenage years but still no powers have surfaced. Basically the action of this book kicks off when a mysterious man shows up in Tamsin's life one day and he mistakes her for her older sister. Tamsin's older sister is extremely talented and basically everything that she isn't, so it finally feels good for once in her life to feel appreciated. So she ends up kind of accidentally agreeing to go on this mission that this man sends her on to find this lost family heirloom. On this mission, she discovers the secret to her true identity. There is time travel. It's labeled as like an urban fantasy. There's romance. There's like sinister enemies in this huge battle between good and evil, and it's just such a great witchy book. Witches plus time travel, you just can't get better than that. So next we have vampires, and we all know finding good vampire books can be hard because there's so many cheesy vampire books out there. So I always try to find vampire books that actually have creepy vampires, not the sparkly romantic kind. No, I want vampires that are going to kill you and drink your blood like they're supposed to. We have The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. I've talked about this actually a lot recently on my channel, which is weird because I read this a long time ago, but for some reason it keeps coming up lately. I don't know. Sorry for shoving this in your face so much, but this is a really good vampire book. It takes place in this place called the Fringe, which is a walled-in city, and there are these vampires that keep humans as blood cattle, and our main character accidentally becomes a vampire herself, so she then sets out on a quest to find a cure. Julie Kagawa is fantastic. So action-packed, so dark and exciting, and it's cool because it kind of mixes paranormal with dystopian. I loved it. Next, everybody, let's move on to zombies, and I feel like zombies are just so Halloween. Like zombies, it's dead people walking, living. Well, they're not really living, they're dead, but they're kind of living. So the first one is Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Maberry. It takes place in a zombie-infested post-apocalyptic America where a boy named Benny becomes an apprentice to a zombie hunter. You've got the violence and the gore that you would expect with a zombie book. It's a solid zombie read. Like this is very zombie-ish. But at the same time, this book kind of had a different take on zombies than what I'm used to, and I found it to be very unique and refreshing. And then we have a very popular zombie book that has been around for a while, and there's a good chance that you may have read it or have at least seen it. I've talked about it before. It's The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. All you need to really know about this book is it follows a village, and this village is surrounded by a fence, and beyond this fence, as you can imagine, reside the zombies. This was actually, I think, the first zombie book that I ever read. I read it so long ago, but I loved it. It's also a really fast read. It's fairly short. It's only like barely 300 pages, I think, so you could read this one real quick on a nice spooky October morning. Another zombie book is called This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. It is a sort of post-apocalyptic world where zombies have infested everything, and it follows this girl who has secured herself in her old school with some fellow students and some other people who are trying to protect themselves from the zombies that are outside actually like pounding on the doors trying to get to them and kill them, and if these zombies bite you, you will instantly turn into a zombie. It's really scary. This is like your blood is pumping, you're freaking out, you just want to flail around because so much is happening and they have to run. Sorry, I got too excited. Zombies are just so cool. Alright, so next is a book called Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. It's a really ghost book. A really good ghost book. This is about a boy named Kaz who has a kind of unique and different job that doesn't really make that much sense, but his job is to kill dead people. I don't really know how it's possible, guys. His current job is to hunt down a ghost known as Anna Dressed in Blood, and she is known to be very dangerous, very murderous, very bad, but when he does find her, here's the twist. She spares his life. I thought this book was really quirky, kind of cute at parts, but also creepy. So like cute in a creepy way. This isn't really your classic like haunted house ghost story. This is, you know, the whole idea of hunting down ghosts is very original and different, and I thought it was really cool. Alright, so let's move on to Shapeshifters. And so this could mean werewolves, or it could mean turning into something else that's not a wolf. First, we're going to start off with shapeshifters that aren't werewolves, and I'm going to start off with a book called The Gathering by Kelly Armstrong. And this is definitely one of those YA books that follows a group of teens that are very troubled and complex, and they have to together find out this mystery and discover the truth behind these unexpected abilities that are surfacing. And so it follows a girl whose best friend recently died. Meanwhile, in the town that they live in, there have been many unexpected deaths, and also our main character is having these strange connections with animals. There's lots of death and stuff. That sounded very confusing and vague, but all you really need to know is that it's about a group of characters that are shapeshifters. I want to move on to some werewolf books. How can I do this video without recommending books about werewolves, because werewolves are just so Halloween. The ones that I do have here I have talked about a lot on my channel, so sorry if this sounds repetitive. The problem is I actually have not read that many books about werewolves. I have bad luck with werewolf books. I always find them being incredibly cheesy and disappointing and blah. So I'm sorry if like you're tired of hearing me talk about these books, but I thought I would throw them in anyway, just in case you are new to my channel or haven't heard me talk about these books, and also they're just really good, so why not? The first one is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater, and this is not really a spooky book, but it is an exciting and action-packed book, and also a very romantic book because it is primarily a love story. It follows a boy named Sam and a girl named Grace. Sam is a werewolf, and it is basically their love story, and it's beautiful. And it's amazing. Also, there are people that are against them, there are bad guys, and there's a lot of drama and crazy emotional things that happen. Even though this isn't like a scary, keep you up at night sort of werewolf book, I think it's still great for this time of year because it has this very like cold, crisp atmosphere that I think could work for the fall time, and is a great cozy day read. And then we have Nightshade by Andrea Kramer, which is another book that has come up a lot on my channel for some reason lately, but I thought I would throw it in because it's the only other werewolf book I've read. And this is just a very classic werewolf book. It follows a pack of werewolves. I don't even remember more than that. Each of the books are really long, first of all, and you have many of them to read, and they are just the most like extreme guilty pleasure reads. Like, oh, so cheesy but so addictive. There's so much drama, like just so much drama and so much shape-shifting, and it's awesome. And there's a character in these books that I fell in love with when I was a teenager, and I just loved him so much, and I don't even remember the character's name. But don't be put off by the fact that I don't remember some parts of this book. It's just because I read it a long time ago. But I do remember that I loved these books. I loved them so much that I forced myself to read them in the car on a road trip, even though I get car sick really easily, but I wanted to read them so badly that I did anyway, and I got really sick. And lastly, before I wrap things up, I thought I would throw in a book that kind of combines more than one type of creepy creature, which is The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. There is a werewolf, there is a girl who can see dead people, there are ghosts, and I think there's a warlock if I'm remembering correctly. So there's a little bit of everything. I feel like these books for a lot of people were like their first YA series. At least this was one of my first YA series that I read, and ever since then I think very fondly back on these books because they're so good. And those are all of the creepy creature books that I have today. I've just been having so much fun. I've just been having so much fun. I've just been having so much fun getting into all the spooky Halloween stuff. I was just going to do a small mini witch recommendations video, but then I was like, no, I should do everything. Just combine all the creepy creatures in one. So that's what I did. I guess that'll be it for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you're having yourself a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys next time.